Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and today we're going to talk about some exercises for helping to develop your single stroke roll, which is very important. So first, you should definitely practice both grips. I always say that. Traditional grip is great for playing jazz and brushes and things like that. Match grip is a little more important for timpani and marimba, and all these rolls for those instruments are played single stroke. So you must have really good single strokes to play timpani rolls, marimba rolls, and also, if you play drum set, same thing. So I'm going to play both grips today, back and forth, and we'll change the height of this momentarily. We'll start out with traditional. So in my last video, my double stroke video, we used some rhythms to develop that thing. So we did the thing where we were doing fives, but those are double strokes. Single strokes are a whole different story. They're much more physical, and there's a lot of coordination involved. You've got to play one after the other. You've got to try to get it even. So it's the most difficult thing physically to play. Of course, the great single stroke players, Buddy Rich, obviously, Tony Williams, incredible single strokes around the drums melodically, beautiful stuff. And my teacher, Joe Morello, had incredible singles. And I could never hope to play that fast or clean. It's just not within me physically. But I have worked on it over the years, and I enjoy playing them. And I like to do, in my drum set playing, if you watch my videos, short bursts of singles, but never really, the Billy Cobham heavy kind of single thing, or Tony Williams. I don't really do that too much. But I have always worked on my single stroke roll. So to do this, there's a couple of things you always want to remember. The first is relax your shoulders. The second is there's a lot of wrist involved. So that wrist is moving, but it's not tight, so you're not holding the sticks really tight. The sticks are moving like this. So the third thing are fingers. So when you play with your fingers, like Tony Williams did, incredible finger technique, all around the drums, like I said before, there's not a lot of wrist in that motion. So it's pretty much just defined or regulated to the finger stroke. So there's a lot of different ways to approach this, and these exercises today will help with that. So the first one I'm going to show you is just a basic kind of thing I learned when I marched drum corps when I was a little kid. And back in those days, the snares were much looser. They weren't like the Kevlar or the really tight heads they have now. So this is just a single stroke exercise using sixes. So it's like this. Now, when you're doing that, you want to really try to bounce the sticks. Singles do bounce. So but by bounce, I mean the stick is bouncing up. You're not doing that. It's bouncing. So it's always in motion. So when we get that faster, and we do it like 130, you can really see the relaxation and the bounce there. And even faster, 150, now you're going to start using your fingers more. So you see how my fingers, all right, not as much wrist. So as you go faster, you use more fingers, all right? And it's always bouncing, never this. So if you see your pecs moving, your shoulders moving, it's wrong, okay? Because it's just going to hold you back. Your head moving, so watch yourself in the mirror. It should be completely disconnected from that. All right, so let's do the second exercise now. This is from a piece by Rimsky-Korsakov called Scheherazade. It's in my drum set book, but it's also in the Three Camps book. On the Three Camps book, it's on page 39. If you go to the hand exercises section in my drum set book, it's in there, and it's going to be number 10. So we'll slow it down a little to 100, and this is number 10. So that exercise is really productive because it allows you to get out of the singles. A lot of times people can play fast singles, but they can't put the brakes on. In other words, they can't stop them evenly. And that's just as important as playing the singles themselves. Okay? So that's a really, really good exercise for working on putting on the brakes. The next one, we're going to use some rhythms. So page 7, which you are very familiar with from all these videos, in my drum set book, page 48 in the Three Camps book. And now we're going to do crushes. So these are fours, single stroke fours that look like this. Some of you may know that as a 4-stroke rough, but 4-stroke rough usually is a little lighter, where these are all the same volume. And I'm basically doing a burst there. I'm just opening up my hand and using a lot of thumb with the traditional and a lot of back fingers with the matched. Okay, so we'll do this for you, and let me get a tempo here. We'll go slow. We'll start at 100, and we won't do the whole thing. We'll just do a few lines of this. This is page 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so just like the doubles exercises I showed you in the previous video, my hand is moving in eighth notes like that. And basically, then I'm starting all those 4-stroke bursts from the right hand. You can also do it from the left hand, but it's really, really difficult. I'm still working on that. It's very hard, but I do spend a good deal of time on starting from the left. All right, so I suggest you do that as well. Finally, the last exercise that I really like with bursts is the 2-note grouping. So page 8, we'll speed it up just a little to 105. And this gets really complicated because it's very dense. We'll do the same kind of thing where we pulse eighth notes with the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really exhausting, but make sure you rest after you do that, okay? Because that's a brutal exercise. But again, it will really make a huge difference in your singles, okay? So those are the exercises I use for strengthening this particular sticking. Again, relax, rebound, don't use your shoulders, and make sure that you practice, if you play them, both grips. You're going to need to play, especially match grip, lots and lots of singles. If you play marimba, any mallet instrument, vibraphone, glockenspiel, and timpani especially, all your rolls are done single stroke. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you soon.